Hello, and welcome to the Front's interview series on the election for Whatcom County Executive. My name is Finn Kurtz. I am the Opinions and Outreach Editor for the Front for Fall Quarter. This is Sophie Bichkoyak, an Opinions reporter for this quarter. And our first interview is with Satpal Sidhu. He is the current Whatcom County Executive and running for re-election. So, Satpal, could you tell me a little bit about yourself and about the position for those that might not know what the role is?
Sure. Thank you very much. Thanks for organizing this to the front. This is a good way to share your thoughts and everything with the student body. My name is Satpal Sidhu. I became county executive in 2019. Before that, I served on the council for 5 years. My background, I'm an engineer with an MBA, and I'm a Fulbright scholar, and I worked in 40 years for different businesses in whole North America as well as Europe and in Asia. And I came from India in 1978. I lived in Canada. I'm a citizen of India. I'm a citizen of Canada. I'm a citizen of the United States. I speak 4 languages. Even alphabet is not the same. And I have a lot of this social experience. When I kind of retired in 2013, I wanted to see what to do the next chapter in my life. I thought the best thing is to give back to this country, because whatever I am is this country has given me. And I wanted to pay back to the community. And I thought that all the things I have learned and experiences I have, I can contribute to the community. And that's what drove me to look into being in politics. I know this is not a very favorite thing for most of the retired people, but I really liked it. When I became county executive, the COVID came, floods came, train derailment, mental health crisis, child care crisis, but it didn't deter me. I managed the county and its finances, did not lay off anybody during the hard times to keep a steady operations of the county. And I feel proud about that. And I want to run for re-election, because there are things I plan to do. My first term, I wasn't able to do that, and I would like to continue on that pathway.
So we have a series of questions, some of which we came up with, and some of which were fielded by, we asked the Western campus community some issues and questions that they felt were important. So this first one is from the community at large, and it was a very requested question. It has to do with houselessness and public safety.
Yes.
So my question to you, and our question to you, is how do you balance compassion and providing services for people that are experiencing houselessness or poverty or other kind of systemic issues, while also addressing the community's concerns around public safety, especially in places like downtown?
Yeah, this question is very much on everybody's mind, and this is not unique to Whatcom County. This is a problem we are facing not only in Western United States, but all of United States. It's a little sad situation. The most richest country in the world, we are struggling to take care of our fellow citizens, probably 4 or 5% of them. I think this is a little bit of dysfunction, but that's not my point here. My point here is what can local government do? This is not caused by the local policies, but we locally are responsible, because that's the face of the government public sees. And they come and ask, what are you doing about it? And we have done a lot. There are about several thousand people who are on the brink of becoming homeless, which we are supporting with rental payments, utility payments, some senior citizens, some single parent families, as well as some other people who can't just make do in their daily. And those, just imagine if we don't maintain that, there could be another few thousand people on the street. So it is a hard issue. I think we should have policies where we can actually determine the people who have these mental issues and who have just economic issues. That there are several subgroups in the main group, and then we should provide services accordingly. We can't label them, everybody is homeless because of mental health or behavioral health issues.
Sure.
I think that financial issues can be taken care of differently than the people with the other issues. Now, public safety comes in. Sometimes people go and steal stuff from the stores, and this is the biggest thing I face. People say, "What are you doing about it?" Somebody walks into the Macy's or somebody and picks up 4 jackets and walks away, and they don't even call the police, and nothing is getting done. Our jail is full. Jail is really very bad situation.
Right.
And we have been trying 15 years. So all these things are interrelated. I don't want to expand my answer into other topics, but they are interrelated.
Sure.
And I think both city and county are working together to provide these services. And our new plan with the new jail is to use almost half of the new levy to services and just half for the construction of the jail. So I think that would solve a lot of issues.
Well, you kind of are leading right into our next question, which is, what is your ideal way of approaching incarceration in Whatcom County, and how does that align with the current ballot proposal on the new jail?
Yes, I think that the priority is treatment over punishment. This ballot measure has been debated for 2 years by almost 40 people from the community, all experts from different places. They were not all government people, they were citizens and people who had lived experiences. And what we heard is just building a jail is not good enough. And that's what it does. It takes like half and half approach, where half of the funding goes to build the new jail, because this is, you don't have any place to provide the service, you don't have any place for families to meet, you don't have any place for independent people to study something or vocational, or there is no re-entry housing when you leave from the jail. So what we have a plan before incarceration, during incarceration, and after incarceration. So this plan, ballot measure, if you read the actual document of the ordinance and the jail implementation plan, it includes all the 3 stages. We want to prevent incarceration at the first end. We are doing alternate response team where the police doesn't go, actually a behavioral health person goes when the call comes. Police is only called if it is needed. We have a LEAD program and a GRACE program where we wrap around services with people, because 20% of the people use 80% of the services. So we are trying to do that and fund money into that. Jail is just one physical place, and some people have to be incarcerated. But then there are services inside the jail and services outside the jail. So that's how we're trying to balance all the money over the next 30 years.
Sure.
Yeah.
And again, for people that might not know, if you could give a little bit more context, why is the jail in the current jail that we have, why is it in the state that it's in,
state.
and what?
So this jail was built in 1984 for 148 people. Now we have almost 270 people in there.
Wow.
And the jail design, whatever happened that many years ago, was not a good design. Right now, when we started expanding, putting more people in there, there is no way to exhaust the smoke in case there is a fire. And even egress, going in and out, is very limited. So, and the visibility is very limited because it's in 2 or 3 floors, and the line of sight is, the building is not built for that. So number of people, deputies needed, is almost time and a half than what you can do that if you're sitting in a place and you have total visibility. So there are many factors, physical factors with the building, design of the building, and operation of the building. So we are spending good money to do that, whereas there will be a good management and good savings once we build the new building. And that's why this building is really, really old. It's run its life already. Yeah, need to be replaced.
Switching gears a little bit, from a lot of the interviews that I've listened to with you and other coverage of your campaign, you've really kind of zeroed in on the water issue.
Yes.
And so again, for people that might not know, can you talk a little bit more? Can you talk a little bit about what is in Whatcom County? Why is water so important? Why is the water habitat so important? And then
Yes.
what have you done?
Yeah,
regarding
it's a long topic, but I'll try to shorten it.
Sure.
I think that the tribes Treaty of 1885 granted them the fishing and hunting rights. So they have that, and so the health of fish, availability of fish for their livelihood is guaranteed by the treaty. The second part is the Washington State in 1935 took away anything under 4 feet belongs to the government, anything 20 feet above belongs to the government. Means that if rain falls on your house, is not your rain, is not your water, state owns it. So then the water rights were distributed from late 1800s to all the time. To give you an example, there is a farmer, he has 80 acres and he has 6 feet of water. On all 80 acres, 6 feet of water every year. That's his water rights on the paper. And there's a farmer next door, has also 80 acres, has 0 water, because a lot of grandparents, great-grandparents never went to the state or government and got a piece of paper. And nobody stopped them for irrigating. They said, why do I need a paper? So there are so many anomalies, and exasperated in 1985 that tribes have been asking for adjudication. Adjudication means a mathematical inventory of how much water rights people have, how much water they are using, how much water is available, can be redistribute that same amount of water. It's not only the water from rain and snow, and we call it surface water, it's the groundwater also, because our aquifer is really large, all the way to Fraser River in Canada, and we may have enough water. I always say there is not deficit of water, there is a deficit of trust. All the different parties don't trust each other, that's why we are not set on table. So my stance on this is that we can find a good solution, a community solution, if we all sit on the table and look for a collaborative way. And that's why water is an existential issue for us. With this climate issue, climate change happening, weather is changing, our water needs are increasing, and we need water. Farmers need water, tribes need water for the fish, and homeowners need water, and wildlife needs water, and trees and forestry needs water. So we all have needs, and that's what I have spent 4 years on this topic, studied deeply other states, how they have solved this problem. This is not just that we are doing it, and I think we have a good pathway to find a solution.
So just in the interest of time, why don't we switch gears back to another issue that has been really important to students, which is rent. So rent and housing affordability.
So as students,
Yes.
the rent is incredibly high, and it's really hard to take care of, and not just for students, for just about everybody who's renting a home. They're struggling to pay rent, and community members are also frustrated with the power imbalance between their landlords. How would you address this widely perceived major community crisis?
I think our first preference, as our nation has a nation of laws and things, we should have a freedom of enterprise. But that freedom doesn't always work. That's where government comes in, when people start taking advantage of that freedom. The freedom is not by itself. Freedom comes with the responsibility. They're the two sides of the same coin. When we lose responsibility and we talk only about freedom, that's when the trouble starts. And that's where the government need to step in and make people responsible. And I think this is the issue more with the larger companies, larger landlords, than people having 2 rooms or 4 apartments, 5 apartments. They are more compassionate and everything. When we come in, I think that the new initiative is if it is used in the right way, it's a good thing to do, because 25% increase in rent. And for students, this has become one of your biggest monthly budget expense.
Oh, by far, yeah.
By far.
It went from $400 to almost $800, $900 in a
Yeah.
matter of years.
Yeah. So I think that the government need to step in and correct it.
Yeah.
That's how I believe in.
Yeah.
And I think these may be some steps taken next year.
One issue that has also been talked about is in terms of housing development
Yeah.
broadly is permitting.
Yeah.
So do you believe that inefficiency in permitting puts like a burden on housing development and affordability? And
It definitely does. And this has been an issue in the cities and in the county also. But the issue is not that it is developed, we just don't want to process permits. The layers of the regulations from Department of Ecology, from EPA, from the environmental laws of us for wetland, critical area, shoreline, all these laws have to be complied with. So we have code books like, 4-inch of binders, right? So when somebody applies, all the good land has already been built. The land which was ready, dry, had all the proper conditions already built. Now, whatever land is left is either wetland or is buffer area or a critical area. So there has to be a lot of scrutiny, and that's what is taking time. Of course, COVID exacerbated the situation. We can't even find people. And this is such an expert thing. You cannot just say, okay, we're going to get fresh graduates and say, okay, you to start doing permitting.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn, and cities are stealing from each other. So that's something we have been facing last 3 years is employee problem. But I totally agree that permits should be done faster. And the cost should be reduced, because any delay of month or to 5 or 6 months adds to the cost of the housing.
For sure.
And that should be the responsibility of the government to correct that. But the regulations we can change.
Yeah.
We have to still scrutinize from each aspect, and that is a lot of times people don't know that what regulations are.
yeah. Talking about more broadly, government listening to people and responsibilities. So,
Yeah. So since this is the front and we are kind of representing the student body a little
Yes.
bit, how do you think that local government can better connect with and serve students and young people in
Yes.
general?
I think this is the very fundamental principle of our industry. Our government is by the people, for the people, of the people. So we could never put people beside it or not listen to them. One thing you would know that even during COVID, County Council did not stop taking public comments. We kept, and sometimes when we start the council meeting at 6 o'clock, it is 10 o'clock before we can start our real business, because that first 4 hours have gone for public comment. I think we are listening. That's not the only channel that we are listening. We have availability of every council member, county executive, and other elected officials have been available to public through email, town halls, and all other meetings to listen to their, like during flood, I was out there in Sumas and Everson, and governor came, and we had a town hall. I have been meeting all small groups. We have a long-term recovery group, which I've been managing with them, all the individual people's issues with their house, their flood, because they don't care about what is happening to the city. They want to know what's going to happen to my house, my property, my dairy.
Yeah.
Right? So that's important, and I think that is and I respect that, and I may not have right answers, but I do not want to shy away from facing people, and I have done that last 4 years.
Sure. Awesome. Just one more kind of bigger question to as we wrap up here. So you're an incumbent. This would be your second term.
Yeah.
So what is something that you learned from your first term that you would like to grow on or improve upon entering your second?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I learned, which I did learn from when I was on the council, how the government works. But when you are at the county executive seat, this is a position where you have to be collaborator chief, because each city has a mayor, which is also a CEO. The sheriff is independently elected. Assessor, auditor, treasurer, they're all independently elected. To get anything done, you need to collaborate with people, because ultimately the council has the policy issues, council passes the policy, we implement it, and council has the purse strings. So if I come up with policies that this is a good thing for our county, a good thing for this project, I have to bring along the council to approve that and approve the corresponding budget for that idea. I cannot just say this is a good thing, I should just do it. So I think this is the biggest quality in a administrator. Counties and city governments are not like a business. They are totally unique organizations, and they need a lot of collaboration, a lot of discussion. And I learned that bringing their fellow elected people along is the key. And I have had cooperation from all 7 mayors in the first time that 4 years, most of the decisions have been taken with 7-0 vote from all these mayors. And that's an achievement. Thank you.
Well, as we close out, Sophie, do you have anything you want to follow up on or ask?
I don't think so. I think most of my questions got answered.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Do you have anything that you'd like to
I just
say?
wanted to add that I have been very steady in 4 years, last 4 years, and I want to pick up on the water and build the new jail, as well as build the mental and treatment facilities, so that we can get this problem behind us.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Sir.